I want to talk about that crash. The defense argued that that evidence should not have even been brought in, Holly. But I think it's important. It's certainly important to the state's case because one of the arguments they're making is that the choice to even use a taser in this case was an undue escalation. And one of the reasons being when he's in the car and possibly behind the wheel, it could lead to a crash. And as you saw, he ended up being shot, not just tased, but it ended up in a crash. There are questions as to the relevance, but I want to get your thoughts.
Absolutely relevant. It's the crux of the case, in my opinion. What we're seeing here in this case represents the disproportionate response by police officers to the situation at hand. And we ask ourselves, why are police officers disproportionately responding to these minor traffic violations? We know, and the studies have shown, that for minor traffic occurrences and minor traffic stops, the likelihood of a police officer being killed in these minor stops is 1 in 6.3 million. And yet we have these disproportionate responses, even the use of tasers. The introduction of this evidence of this crash shows not only that a Black man was killed that day, but that an elderly white couple was also injured in the course of the police officer's conduct of drawing even the taser. So forget whether or not Kimberly Potter knew whether her left side contained the taser or her right side contained her gun. Forget that mistake. What we're talking about is either way, this officer was pulling a taser on an individual for a routine traffic stop. And so the disproportionality of the officer's response to the situation at hand is on trial. And I think should, no matter the verdict, Michael, I think this should result in de-escalation techniques and practices. Why? Because not only are the citizens going to be safer, but the police officers will be safer from this type of prosecution. This case sends a message both to the blue line, to the police officers, and to the citizens. It's very important.